Thanks for that update. It's day 2 of this year's NATO Summit in our nation's capital, with foreign dignitaries and leaders from across the globe. And security surrounding the Walter E. Washington Convention Center very tight tonight.
Erie News Now Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon is there, and tonight he's giving us a closer look at the NATO Summit.
It's NATO week in Washington, D.C. It was here 75 years ago when 12 countries created the North Atlantic Treaty Organization in an effort to deter Soviet expansionism, fight nationalist militarism in Europe, and encourage European political integration. International dignitaries from 32 member countries or NATO allies are in Washington to discuss pressing political and security issues. This week, safety and security are taken especially seriously.
It's massive in scale, and it isn't just law enforcement. We work with all of our public safety partners to put something like this into motion. At this time, there's no credible threats to the NATO Summit that we're tracking.
Inside the convention center, hundreds of attendees, leaders, and journalists from across the world gather for a full list of events throughout the week. This is just one part of the NATO Summit taking place here in Washington, D.C. We're at the convention center. This specific area is the media staging area where hundreds and hundreds of journalists from across the world are here following their country's leaders and decision makers. There's no shortage of urgent matters being discussed among leaders, such as Russia's war with Ukraine.
It's good that we're stronger than ever, because this moment in history calls for our collective strength.
President Joe Biden kicked off the summit with a speech Tuesday evening, but overshadowing this year's summit, concerns regarding the 81-year-old president's re-election chances.
Regardless of the outcome of the U.S. elections, the U.S. will remain a strong and staunch NATO ally.
NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg believes NATO will stand strong regardless of the election outcome. Reporting in Washington, Brendan Scanlon, Erie News Now.